Welcome to part 2 of my Joe Budden podcast reading. This is all for entertainment purposes only. Just a little, fun and games. This is QC Tarot, and just welcome back. This part will be strictly focused on Joe Budden and his feelings towards his ex-employees. This specific video will hone in on his feelings towards Melyssa Ford, his feelings towards Rory, and his feelings towards Maul. So thank you. Let's take a ride. Let's just have some fun, and let's shuffle some cards. Now we're going to start with Miss Melyssa Ford. I hope she's thriving and doing amazing. I hope all parties are thriving and doing amazing. And when I shuffled the cards for Melyssa Ford, specifically asking, what does Joe Budden feel about Melyssa Ford, or specifically, does he miss Melyssa Ford as far as the employer-employee type of situation? And when I pulled 2 cards from Melyssa, I got 2 of Cups and Ace of Cups reversed. Now, out of the 3 people I pulled cards for, this is the strongest yes. The 2 of Cups, there was a genuine connection, a mutual respect, and there was some good chemistry. That Ace of Cups reverse equals the emotional flow had been blocked. There may be disappointment, unresolved feelings, or emotions that aren't being expressed. So yes, he likely misses the connection per se. This is all alleged. But there's emotional distance or unresolved feelings that prevent that connection from flowing naturally. Interesting. Now, as far as business, right? Like one person might be feeling disconnected or unappreciated, misaligned expectations or unmet emotional needs in the collaboration, a risk of the relationship becoming codependent or unbalanced despite the surface level harmony. Okay? And that's what I pulled from Melyssa Ford, the 2 of Cups upright and that Ace of Cups reversed. Interesting. I'm looking at that 2 of Cups. Yeah, they had a nice creative collaboration at a point. At least that was the ideal on paper. It's kind of like going for the interview and knocking the interview out the park. And then when you get the job, the real you kind of comes out. And then we find out, that you aren't as feminine and as full of that je ne sais quoi that he was looking for. And which is fine. It happens. When I look at that Ace of Cups reverse, I don't know, this, it just reminds me of her menopause ideal. And, ideals that make men go, ugh. You know what I mean? I feel like they wanted Melyssa's personality to be a little more Betty Boop, authentic vibes, this wise video vixen. Yeah, but once they realize maybe she goes through depression or she sometimes she actually feels like this, and, they're like, man, this isn't what we signed up for. You know what I mean? It's hard to explain, if you will, but that's what I get when I look at these cards. And this Ace of Cups looks like Melyssa. But back to the 2 of Cups, there were points when it was a vibe. The bottom line, they say, is you have a solid, equal business relationship with the potential for great results, but you must tend to the emotional and relational side to keep it healthy and productive. They weren't doing that. That's why they're not doing any more business together. Without attention to emotional alignment, the partnership's benefits could be undermined. Now, I pulled one additional card about about if anything, how does Joe, or what does Joe miss about the connection? Okay, so the first question is, This question is, if anything, what does Joe miss about the connection? When I pulled the cards for this one additional segment, I got the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups is emotional intelligence, nurturing, intuition, and calming. So if Joe misses anything about Melyssa Ford, this is all alleged, it's her emotional maturity and the energy she brought. The Queen of Cups suggests he may miss having someone who could understand emotions, offer empathy, or bring a softer balance to the dynamic, like the girl that comes into the barbershop type of vibe. So yeah, that aligns up pretty smooth. It aligns up with the Two of Cups. It emphasizes the quality of the connection. You know what I mean? So yeah, shout out to Melyssa. Hope everything's going well, and yeah. Let's go on to Rory. Okay, next we're going to go to Rory. And when I shuffle the cards for Rory, and when I ask the question, as an employer-employee dynamic, which is interesting because I guess when Joe worked with Rory and Maul, there was confusion with if they were partners or if they were employers, employees. There was a blur, but I digress. When I shuffled the cards about Joe and Rory, and if Joe misses Rory as an employee, I got the Hermit reversed and the King of Wands reversed. Now, the Hermit reverse equals withdrawal, equals isolation, reluctant to reconnect, or avoidant reflection. And the King of Wands reverse equals pride, ego, stubbornness, or frustration. So Joe, he may think about Rory, but pride, frustration, or unresolved conflict outweigh any simple feeling of really genuinely missing him. The Hermit reversed and the King of Wands reversed. The Hermit reversed, loss of inner guidance or truth-seeking, avoidance of necessary reflection or self-assessment, possible over-reliance on external opinions or trends rather than personal insight. In business, this can mean ignoring your own values, making decisions without clarity, or failing to adapt to your true direction. King of Wands reverse, weakened leadership, vision, or entrepreneurial drive, lack of decisive action or strategic direction, impulsive indecision or acting without a clear plan. In business, this can mean poor execution, missed opportunities, or loss of confidence in your ability to lead. So combine those reversals in business, it equate to impulsive or reckless decision making without the grounding or inner wisdom, confusion in direction, misaligned priorities, team or client disconnection, opportunity loss. This combination could suggest he thought that Rory needed to reconnect with his inner guidance and rebuild his leadership vision. All alleged. I'm looking at that Hermit reversed. Looks like Rory. Sitting by himself, reflecting. I believe the Hermit is a Taurus card, and I believe Rory is a Taurus, if I'm not mistaken. That King of Wands. I feel like he always, I'm looking at this black man, but it's reversed. So, I feel like he always looked at Rory like, you're not a black man. Like I'm not going to talk to you like you're a black man. I don't know if that makes any sense. I also look at that 10 of swords, and I always, oh, I'm sorry, not the 10 of swords. I apologize. I shuffled some more cards to see if he missed anything about Rory, and I got the 10 of swords. I was getting ahead of myself. So yes, he missed the 10 of swords about Rory, if anything. Or the 10 of wands. So that can point to carrying a heavy workload, responsibility, someone who shouldered a lot, someone who carried a lot, someone who handled the shit a lot on a very high level, or the weight of a long history together. So if Joe misses anything about Rory, he may miss everything Rory carried, the workload, the responsibility, the fact that he had been through a lot together with them. He misses Rory carrying everything. So this is what I get from these cards. And I'm going back to this 10 of wands. And that looks like Rory. He liked the way Rory would just say, it's fine, when everything wasn't fine. So Joe doesn't genuinely miss Rory at all. So when Joe pretends that he has a semi-connection with Rory, it's just to create divide with Rory and Mal. And it's working, right? Because Joe's clever. Shout out to that Gemini ascendant. But Joe does not genuinely miss Rory in any concept. In fact, he feels like towards the end, Rory lost his luster. And the only thing he misses about Rory is him carrying the load and shutting the fuck up about it. Joe is cold, but I guess it's business, right? Yeah, we're gonna go to Mal. Yeah, absolutely. And I want to clarify, the Hermit reverse and the King of Wands reverse was for Rory, asking if Joe misses anything about the connection. And if he does miss anything about the connection, the answer was the 10 of Wands, which was him taking everything and saying everything is fine. Because I feel like his new batch is filled with complainers. Okay. And there we have it. Let's go on to Mal. You're up, buddy. Everything's alleged. Everything's alleged. Everything's alleged. Okay. Last but not least, we have Mal. And when I asked some specific questions, when I shuffled the cards, all for entertainment and everything alleged, of course, I asked, does Joe Budden miss Mal on a employer-employee type of situation, type of basis? Does he miss him, And the cards I got from Mal was the Queen of Wands reversed and the Three of Pentacles reversed. The Queen of Wands reversed and Three of Pentacles reversed. Now this feels the weakest in terms of I miss this person out of Melyssa, Rory, and Mal. I think he misses Mal the least. And the Queen of Wands reverse equates to a loss of warmth, confidence, or enthusiasm. Tension in the interpersonal dynamic. And that Three of Pentacles reverse equals collaboration breakdown. Not working well together or a fractured team dynamic. So yeah, that's pretty interesting and pretty transparent on, does he miss Mal? No. Queen of Wands reversed? No. Three of Pentacles reversed? No. Okay? That's a strong no for the Mal inquiry. The Queen of Wands reverse equates to loss of confidence, leadership, hesitation, or overreaching without support. He thought Mal lost his mind and was making decisions as if he was running things. And that confused Joe. Allegedly. Three of Pentacles reversed. This card points to a breakdown in teamwork, skill refinement, or lack of structured collaboration. Everyone was running amok in the palace. Joe wasn't having it. In a business setting, it may indicate that your projects are not moving forward as planned, that you're not getting the help you need, or that your skills aren't being honed enough to deliver results. He thought Maul had went stale. Like he didn't have infinite creativity. Something maybe that Flip has. Flip has infinite creativity. He felt like Maul was maybe the anti-Flip. He does not possess infinite creativity. So no, he doesn't miss Maul. Together, these cards suggest that you're trying to run a project or business ideal alone without the right support. But your lack of self-assurance is making it harder to ask for help or even accept help. He felt like Maul was stubborn. You may be overestimating your ability to handle everything. He thought Maul had too much dip on his chip. This can lead to delays, missed opportunities, or a sense of stagnation. Leadership gaps, collaboration issues, skill development, recognition, and support. I asked one more question. If anything, does Joe miss anything about Maul? I shuffled the cards. I got the Lovers. Now, the Lovers in a business context can symbolize partnerships, collaboration, and alliances that are found on shared values, mutual trust, and understanding. He feels like there was a point when him and Maul had that thing, that we're brothers, we're happy, and we're singing, and we're colored, that lightning in a bottle, okay? Give me a high five, cut in print, dynamite, beautiful guys, you know? That's what he felt. Like when it was fire, it was fire. When the Lovers card appears in the business reading, it suggests that a strong, harmonious relationship was key for the success. It indicates that both parties involved had a deep sense of commitment and were willing to work together towards a common goal. There was a point when it was a vibe. Just like in personal relationships, this card emphasizes the importance of clear communication, open dialogue, and cooperation. The Lovers card in the business context can highlight the need for balance and complementary skills. It suggests that the partnership was based on a mutual exchange of strengths and expertise, creating a synergy and an environment where each person's talents could shine. There was a point where it worked. It was a point where it worked so perfect, where it was the perfect situation. And I think he felt like Rory was just a cherry on the top. From Joe's scope, when it was good, it was him and Maul that made it good, and Rory was just the extra. So yeah, he doesn't miss any of these people, which is interesting. Very, very interesting. If I were to rank the three, it would say Melyssa 4 is the strongest indication of missing the relationship or emotional connection, for sure. I think he missed dogpiling on Mel. Dogpiling on Mel was an underrated little situation. I know it might sound misogynistic, but yeah, it was a thing. Rory mixed. Some unresolved energy is there, but pride and distance dominant, for sure. Maul, the weakest. The cards focus more on a broken partnership than emotional longing. And yeah, that's a Melyssa Ford, Rory, Maul. Joe does not miss none of y'all. Joe don't miss none of y'all. Joe don't miss y'all niggas. Just having some fun. Hope everyone's doing good, doing great. And yeah, shout out to Joe for not missing a nigga. Stand 10 toes, Joe. I like that about you. You know what I mean? And yeah, like, subscribe, and if you want a reading, hit me up. I'm really good at this thing. Peace.